Welcome to my second BTR review, and today I'm going to be talking about To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And this book is about Lara Jean, who loves to write goodbye love letters to boys she has had crushes on, and she writes them to kind of help herself move on from them. She writes them and then she puts them in a teal hat box, and they are never meant to be read by anyone except for herself. So she is really shocked and surprised when one day at school, the first boy, Peter Kavinsky, that she wrote a letter to actually comes up to her and asks her, he holds the letter in his hand actually, and asks her about it. And then she realizes, oops, somebody has mailed these letters, and she has no idea who did it. So the whole story is kind of her dealing with now these boys know how she felt about them and how she's going to have to handle talking to them and facing them at school and whatnot. I really liked a lot of things about this book. There weren't too many things I didn't like. I loved each thing that Jenny Han describes so clearly. You can definitely feel yourself there and you can relate to each situation. I mean, I've never had any sisters, at least not biologically related to me, but she makes you understand what it's like to have a huge fight with one of your sisters. She describes one of the really popular boys, Peter Kavinsky, as someone's handsome, but she doesn't just use the word, that he's a handsome boy. She does say that about him, but she kind of describes his handsomeness by talking about different movies he could be in, a kind of car that she could imagine him driving, and then you say, oh, that's the kind of handsome boy that he is. So I thought that was really neat how she did that. And she would do stuff like, I like how she includes the parts where Lara Jean hangs out with her boyfriends, or her fake boyfriends, I should say, lacrosse friends, and they all hang out in a group, and she talks about how she's like the quiet one and doesn't have too much to add to their sports conversation, but she just likes being around them because it's so different from what she normally does at home, and or she's like knitting or baking cookies. And I think my favorite part of where she uses description to make you really feel like you understand what's going on is when she's talking about Lara Jean's fear of driving. It's just like, I can remember being her age, like 15 or 16, like after you just get your driver's license, and then how you are afraid to drive to places, but the only way you're gonna get better at it is if you actually drive. So, and I love the part where one of the things she's really scared to do is changing lanes, because she's like, you have to keep your eyes on the front of the road, but then like when you're switching lanes you have to take your eyes away for a second, and I just hate taking my eyes away. Oh my gosh, it's so cute how she describes that. And then how she's like, oh, and the worst thing is I always get lost, I don't know where I'm going. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like me when I was a teenager. So anyway, I know there's other people that are really confident drivers and they probably didn't really go through that, but I could definitely relate to this. So I really like that. And I mean, the story went at a good pace. I love the characters. She has an older sister, Margot, who goes away to Scotland for college, and then a younger sister, Kitty. And it's just like, it's her story about being kind of like the middle girl, but it's not like a middle child story. It's about like how she deals with these crushes, and how her older sister deals with things so differently. Like, oh, it's over, and she doesn't think about the relationship anymore. But then for her, it's like, I don't understand how my sister can do that, and how I have like all these things I have to analyze and go through. Yeah, she's definitely the brighter of the three girls. And I love how her little sister Kitty wants a puppy so much, and it seems like impossible for her to get a dog, but at the end she does, and she's like, oh my gosh. So it's really cute. So and really the only thing I didn't like about the book was at the end, it didn't end abruptly or anything, but I really wanted to find out what was going to happen between her and Peter, and her and Josh, because there's two different guys in her life, but one is a fake boyfriend and the other one is a boy that lives next door who used to be her older sister's boyfriend who she also loved and, you know, wasn't sure how to deal with, but then she kind of got over him. So, but you don't have a clear conclusion of like which guy she was going to be with, so it definitely leaves the door open for a sequel. So really, I really enjoyed this book. I don't really have too many things I didn't like about it. I mean, I really couldn't put it down, and there's just too many things that I loved about it. So some random things that I appreciated was the main character is actually, she is half Korean and half white, and I liked how Jenny Han included aspects of both cultures in here. You have her making Korean, I think it's like Bo-sam. It doesn't matter because I don't know how to speak Korean, so I'm probably saying it wrong anyway, even if I knew what the correct term is. But she kind of makes me want to try that. It's like a pork wrapped up in lettuce or something like that, some kind of dish, and then her dad makes it one time in the book and it turns out pretty bad, but she's like, it tastes good, Dad. So I really like that. But then at the end, you see her sister coming back for the holidays, and they're gonna do a Christmas cookie bonanza, and they're just making all different kinds of Christmas cookies, and there's even a fruitcake Christmas cookie, which she really didn't want to make at first, but then her fake boyfriend Peter was like, we have to make these are really good. And so there's like the creamsicle cookie, but there's all these cookies I now really want to try and bake myself. But anyway, so I just really like the intertwining the two different cultures in the book, so I thought that was really neat. So alright, first book review of 2015. Happy New Year, everybody, and I hope you had a really good Christmas holiday. Bye.